serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the man who ate the town.
Hey folks, and welcome to this episode, number 86 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of October 8th through the 14th, 2018. My name is Tim Beeman.
And my name is Tim Johnson.
And we're opening the recipe box. We're recording this episode of the Man Who Ate the Town at the new lab at Industry Hill, or as it's officially called now, I guess, the Less Desirable Studios in the lab at Industry Hill. It is a repurposed building on North Chestnut Street in the old warehouse district of North downtown Winston-Salem, what we know as Industry Hill. Find out more by visiting industryhill.com. So, have a lot to get into, and not all of it good.
Oh, boy. Hold on to your seats, folks.
Actually, not a lot of it is good. One of the city's most beloved food trucks is calling it quits. The Botmobile has posted its last schedule, and it's for this week. That's sad because they had fantastic food, and they are awesome folks. Yeah. The best I can surmise is that Matt Pleasance and his crew are looking to do something else. On their Facebook page, when my friend and fellow food blogger Christy Meyer asked what was going on, Matt said that there were great things ahead, just the Botmobile had basically just run its course. I don't know if it was a financial thing or what, but after this week, Botmobile will be gone. And so that's some really great Thai-inspired food.
Yes. For
those who you didn't know, Baht is the currency in Thailand. So they call it the Botmobile.
Smart.
Listener John P. last week wrote in to ask what was the latest on Josh Tressler's Shakunin Ramen restaurant. I reached out to Josh, and he said that they hit a little bump with some financing as a major backer pulled out last second, but they're working on getting that back on track. So it's still a go, just normal business snags along the way. Thank you, John P., for reaching out. We love hearing from our listeners.
Absolutely.
Roots Restaurant in Boonville left the following statement on their Facebook page this weekend. Due to financial reasons, we have made the decision to close permanently, effective immediately. We have loved serving you and will miss you all very much. Thanks so much to all of you who have supported us faithfully and our fantastic staff. It was a very hard decision to make, but we felt like it was our only option at this point. Thanks again. I know Chef Brett Andrewsy, who was there, who was at Willow's just prior to starting this endeavor. And I feel bad for him and all of his staff. I don't know what is next for them, but I know Chef Brent is one of Chef Travis Meyer's culinary ninjas, so he'll bounce back with probably no problem.
Indeed.
I wouldn't even rule out some part-time work at Willow's. Now, that's just a guess. I haven't talked to anyone about it. It could never happen, maybe, but I'm just thinking out loud. One thing that I believe they had a problem with was it was in Boonville.
Yeah.
So
that's somewhat secluded.
Yeah, and people aren't from Winston, no matter how good the food are not going to go to Boonville.
It's about,
35, 40 minutes, and there's nothing else out there.
Trees and hills. Oh, the depot. The depot's up there, that wedding venue.
Okay.
Yeah.
But even that, and I believe this might be part of something like that, because I believe it was connected to either a bed and breakfast or something. I feel bad that I've never been there.
Yeah, I haven't
and
either.
He had invited us there a couple times, and I just was unable to go.
See?
So, good luck, Chef Brent Andrewsy, and your folks up there finding other things to do. Again, you're one of Travis's proteges, so I'm sure you'll have no problems finding backup. Carolina Backyard Barbecue closes its Haynes Mall area location after just 6 weeks of being open. Let me pull up the article here. This was in Relish, but it was by my pal Michael Hastings. Carolina Backyard Barbecue was on Foxtrot Court, just off of Haynes Mall Boulevard, where Brew Nerds and Colonel Custard and Food Freaks was for a little bit. And he says that Dmitry Petropoulos, yeah, I had it right the first time, said he decided to cut his losses as soon as he realized that the layout of the seating area had too many problems. For one, it was a small amount of indoor seating.
Very small.
And the building was disconnected, where the seating was disconnected from the main kitchen building. Most of the seating was outdoors or in an open-air garage. Customers also had to stand outside while ordering at the main building's window.
Yeah.
What he said, and this again according to Michael Hastings, when it's hot or raining, no one wanted to come. Lunch was killing me when it was 85 or 90 degrees because no one wants to eat outside.
No, sir. Especially not during lunch.
No, gosh, no, right in the heat of the day. And then he realized that the problems would be just as bad in the winter because nobody's going to sit out in the cold.
Sir.
He said he originally envisioned that the restaurant would get enough drive-through business to sustain it, but he soon realized the somewhat limited access from Haynes Mall Boulevard.
Right.
For one, it's hard to maneuver in that shopping center.
God, yes.
I haven't understood what they've done,
especially with that hotel there now.
Yeah,
Oh, man,
it's all crazy.
Ugh.
And I don't know that they're getting enough business from the hotel either.
I don't think so.
And so they were hoping they would do the drive-through, but it just wasn't working for them. So he decided to better pull the plug and not put more money into it. He's hoping to reopen it in another location that has a better access for folk. Now, here's my thing about that business. They need, because it was built to put Brew Nerds and Colonel Custards in there.
Correct.
Those are gone.
Yeah.
Food Freaks, delicious food.
Great burgers, bro.
Just could not sustain in that building.
No.
They need to tear both of those buildings down and build something to suit someone's needs.
Exactly.
A regular location.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a chain. It can still be preferably someone to help the local people get a name out.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do anything with this building, as we now know.
Was it 5 now? Almost? What, 5?
4 or 5 things?
5?
Who knows? I mean, I've lost count.
Yeah.
And then there's the Cheddar's is there, right?
Right.
So that, and then Firebird's
been there forever.
Yeah. So all these things that are in that same shopping center.
Bricks Pizza still there?
They're probably.
Yeah.
So, and Five Guys.
Five Guys is right there.
Yeah. So
right there.
Why put something in a building that nobody can either get to or want to be at?
Mm-hmm.
Put something in there that people want to eat.
Make it functional.
Another closing.
Poor
Pincho's Poorhouse.
I don't think I've been there.
It's in the village at Robin Hood Center, out where Meadowlark and Robin Hood cross.
Oh, okay.
Basically,
Tabor area.
Well, deep Tabor area.
Deep Tabor.
Yeah. So this is almost over. This is Meadowlark Elementary area.
Oh wow.
So
wow.
So it's
okay.
way out there, Olivet Church Road, all that stuff. Yeah.
It's almost Reagan. Man.
Yeah. That's Reagan area more than Tabor area. Oof. So. Pincho's Poorhouse at 5312 Village at Robin Hood Drive in Winston-Salem. It just announced that they were done. This was October the 2nd, which was 6 days ago. It was Tuesday, and we do our show on Monday, so I didn't know about this. A post on this, again, this is from Relish, and thank you, Michael Hastings, for letting me once again ride your coattails on these stories. But,
thanks, Mike.
On their Facebook page, it said, it is with great sadness that we announce the closing of Pincho's. With the current competitive climate for not only guests but also staff, along with the many other challenges of running a business, we have decided after 5 years it's time. It's like the other place, the Carolina Backyard Barbecue thing. No one except for people who live in that area are going to drive out there.
Right.
And as they said, the area is growing. Pofftown's growing. The Renolda Road area at the top is growing.
Definitely. Yeah.
Finally, after being a desert for a while.
Ever.
So, and from what I hear, it was good. But here's the thing. So they opened 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. They had a husband and wife team and a partner. who was the manager. In 2017, the Edwardses, and I remember talking about this, wondering why, they opened a second restaurant in the same shopping center called Harry Kahuna's Tiki Grill. Harry Kahuna's Tiki Grill.
Interesting.
It was at the intersection of Robin Hood and Meadowlark Drive. The restaurant closed within a year. Wow. The space occupied by Harry Kahuna's now houses social Southern kitchen and cocktails owned by some other people. The Facebook page did not get the exact reason for closing, but they did not immediately return his phone call for a comment. Yeah. The post also said, "We want to thank all of our loyal and supportive customers who have dined with us. Your support has meant the world to us. The staff has been like family, and all the people we met along the way," it says has, but it should be have, made this experience one we will cherish. Thank you for 5 great years. Now,
that's unfortunate.
I believe that they can tell. I believe that the Edwardses are probably good restaurant owners. I think they're just bad at picking locations.
Yeah.
If you want something, come closer to the center of town. Yeah. At least Haynes Mall Boulevard, right. Or maybe they could build something there at Carolina Backyard Barbecue.
There we go.
But unless people are living there, no one's going to come out there to eat. Yeah. I never went. I wanted to, but you know what? That's 40 minutes for me.
Exactly.
You know, and all the stops and all that stuff. I have to get out to Country Club Road. Yeah. Then get to Meadowlark, drive it to the end. Yeah. So by the time I get up there, I'm just done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I'm sure they had great food. They have a lot of competition down there. Winston-Salem, I mean, dude.
Yeah.
Food trucks alone, you got such a plethora of, mixtures of flavors and whatnot, and genres.
Well, I guess we're -1 in that aspect filming this week, which is again sad. But that's luckily all the closings I have for this week. They did announce, like I announced last week, that the bar on 4th is now called the Thirsty Palate.
Yes. Please visit.
Yes. Now, last week, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was I read it wrong or it was wrong on the site that I get my information from, but I realized on the 8th, which is today, last week, I mentioned everything that happened. So I don't know if I read it wrong or if it was a repeat. I didn't go check that out. So I'm skipping the 8th and the food holidays and what have you.
Gotcha.
And we're doing this before the tequila because I want to be able to talk.
Love your honesty.
Yeah. The 9th of October is Moldy Cheese Day, and I love blue cheese.
Hey,
love it. I love moldy cheese.
You got pounds of it.
Yeah, I do. Which, truthfully, isn't all cheese technically moldy cheese.
Interesting.
It's also Grinder, Hoagie, and Hero Day, and one of my favorites, Beer and Pizza Day.
Hey.
So that's tomorrow. In 1891, on that day, Otto Schneering was born. He was the founder of Curtis Candy Company in 1916. The company's first candy product was named Candy Cake, both with K's. Renamed in 1921, Baby Ruth.
Oh, my favorite.
The Butterfinger candy bar was introduced in 1926. In 1962, on the 9th of October, Union Carbide, before they had any meltdowns killing people, registered GLAD trademark for plastic trash bags. In 1996, the world's largest grilled cheese sandwich was made at 3,000 pounds. And in 2007, in a day that will live in beer drinkers' infamy, one of several like this, SAB Miller and Molson Coors announced an agreement to combine their U.S. operations to create Miller Coors. U.S. antitrust regulators approved the joint venture on the 5th of June 2008, and they began working as their combined entity on July 1st, 2008. I don't know that they still are together.
That's a good question.
I'm thinking that Molson Coors stepped away to do their own thing, but I could be wrong. I have to do some investigating.
Stand by.
In 2012, the last filling of the iconic 6.5-ounce returnable glass Coca-Cola bottles were capped in Winona, Minnesota.
Hey. I used to love those things.
I did too, and that's what, we called them little Cokes. Now, they still do them in little bottles, but they're not the returnable bottles anymore. There's no...
Twist.
Yeah. On the 10th of October, World Porridge Day. I'm like, people still eat porridge? Where's the bears when you need them? National Angel Fruit Cake Day.
Oh, wow.
And on 10/10 in 1911, Jasper Newton Daniel, all his friends called him Jack, Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey Distillery was founded by him, and he died on that day in 1911.
Wow.
2 years later, on the exact same day, Adolphus Busch died. He was the founder of Anheuser-Busch in 1866 with his father-in-law, Eberhard Anheuser. And in 1933, on the 10th, Procter & Gamble began marketing Dreft, the first synthetic detergent for home use. Detergents perform better in hard water than soaps do. On the 11th of October, it's National Sausage Pizza Day.
Hey.
I love sausage pizza.
Yeah, man.
In 1844, Henry John Heinz was born. He was the founder, of course, of the H.J. Heinz Company and creator of its slogan, 57 Varieties.
Oh, 57 sauce, boy.
In 1977, Leah Michelle Beeman Roney Elsie Johnson Skidmore was born.
Ooh.
Named by her brother for two girls he had crushes on in the first grade. She has wreaked havoc on his life for 41 years. In all honesty, she's been one of my biggest fans, and I do love her as my sister.
Right.
Leah's birthday is on the 11th. Happy birthday. Happy 41st, sis. If you didn't want people to know, I am so sorry. On the 12th of October, it's World Egg Day, National Gumbo Day, and National Farmers Day.
Hey, farmers.
In 1810 on that day was the first Oktoberfest celebrated in Munich. Oktoberfest originated as a horse race to celebrate the marriage of Crown Prince of Bavaria, later King Louis I, to Princess Teresa von Sachsen-Hildburg. Today is a 2-week festival ending on the first Sunday in October, which is more than 1 million gallons of beer, during which more than 1 million gallons of beer are consumed at the Munich Festival.
You heard it right,
and
folks.
Trivia here, even beyond this, the first beer that is tapped traditionally every year at Oktoberfest is the Paulaner Oktoberfest.
Well, there you go. Wow. Every year.
Every year.
Wow.
It's just tradition.
Nice.
On the 13th, it's either Paulaner or Spaten, but I believe it's Paulaner. On the 13th, it's National Yorkshire Pudding Day.
Yorkshire pudding?
Pudding. In 1945, Milton Hershey of chocolate fame died. He, of course, founded the Hershey Chocolate Company.
Oh, man.
And speaking of chocolate, the 14th is National Dessert Day and Chocolate-Covered Insect Day. Have you ever had chocolate-covered?
I have not. I've seen people eat chocolate-covered crickets, but I didn't.
Well,
indulge.
in West Virginia, they did it often, and
okay.
it's been a long time, but chocolate-covered ants and chocolate-covered crickets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. What were the ants like?
I don't remember. I was young.
All right.
I just remembered that I did do it. On the 14th in 1834, Henry Blair of Glen Ross, Maryland, received a patent for a corn planter. He is thought to be the first African American to be granted a patent.
Right.
In 1926, Winnie the Pooh, the Honey-Loving Bear by A.A. Milne is published. In 1978, President Jimmy Carter signed a bill legalizing home brewing.
Hey, Jimmy.
The bill allowed brewing 100 gallons per adult Oh, I thought it was only 200 gallons for
What?
children. No, it's up to 200 gallons per household.
Oh, okay.
However, states can still set their own limits. And that's your food holidays in history for this week. Thanks to James Ehler at foodreference.com for compiling the holidays in history.
Hey, James.
So now we're going to try some sipping tequila.
That's correct, sir. This is the Añejo. Yes.
From who?
This is from Padre Azul. The gentleman who came up with this brand,
Daddy Blue.
Is Daddy Blue. Yeah, very good. I guess that's why, because he was inspired by his father. He's Austrian, and his father was a distiller. I didn't actually get his name, but long story short, he really liked tequila, and he felt it being, the history of tequila comes from Jalisco, pretty much like the previous episode we talked about tequila from Casamigos. He pretty much got together with some investors and built a distillery there, and Padre Azul is the name of it. They also do, your Blanco, your Reposado, and Añejo, which we have today. Añejo is boasted to be, by Padre Azul, the smoothest tequila in the world, quote unquote.
And what are your thoughts on this?
By God. He has a point. Now I'm just saying, it's really smooth.
He ain't lying.
My God. And I suggest you guys, all you listeners out there, will go to the Padre Azul website so you can get an idea of this bottle.
Oh, we'll take a picture and post it on the show notes for
it's
this.
Sick. So the cork is made of, it's sculpted into a human skull.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a handcrafted leather wrapping around the bottle, and the bottle is actually glass. I mean, it's blown glass, right? So, the cover of it, that leather wrapping I was speaking of, is based on the wrestlers from
the
Mexico.
Lucha Libre.
Lucha Libre thing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And yeah, enough talk. Let's drink this bad boy.
Okay.
But folks, this is some really smooth stuff. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, you take a whiff of that, big buddy.
Yeah. It doesn't even hit you hard with like tequila.
Yeah, it's the smoothest thing in the world, guys. And let me just pour some for my man here, and I will tell you a little bit about their distillery process. And there's not a lot in here, so I gotta hook my man up.
All right.
If I might have a little bit left in there. Yeah, I got a little bit. I got toast with you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a old sniff.
Well, you got a good bit.
Yeah, I got a little bit in there.
It's like you have to wring it out, but you get it.
Hey, man. Salud.
Salud. Slancha.
Slancha.
I love the pepper. There's a pepper overtone.
Indeed.
And like last week, there was a little bit of and it's a plant. So, you get that. So it has somewhat of a tobacco.
There is. Yeah. I guess it's from the barrel, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah. Just the char, probably. It's woodsy. And that definitely is from the barrel.
Would you say that it hit your tongue, or was it kind of like subtle?
It was subtle. It was like pulling the blanket over you when you're cold.
Yeah.
It's not. You're not throwing the blanket on you. You're just pulling it up. And pulling it up to your shoulders.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. That's the way I. Yeah. You keep talking. I'm gonna have another sip.
Yeah, go for it, man. Now I'm kind of. It kind of makes sense that his dad, this gentleman's father, H.P. Etter, inherited a passion from distilling from his father. Okay, so H.P. Etter is the gentleman's name who owns Padre Azul. But his dad used to produce high quality schnapps.
Okay,
now I can kind of see that
there's a sweetness. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. So his team partnered with his father-in-law and a team of renowned master distillers from Jalisco, Mexico, and they created the Azul. So,
and he's a banker. He went from being an Austrian banker to distilling a real Mexican tequila with his wife.
There you go. A real Mexican tequila. It was launched in 2016. His compadres from Austria helped him out, of course. And so Eder's Mexican father-in-law playing a crucial role in the birth of his brand. And the European tequila explorer set out, on the quest for the perfect taste. And it's extremely smooth. It's probably the smoothest tequila that Amy and I have ever had. And we've had quite a bit. We've got some more on the way. But yeah, this is by far the smoothest we've had. And the one I'll bring next week is, you can attest for yourself. But the one I'll bring next week, hopefully if we have it, is going to be pretty close to that, almost the equivalent, but it has just a little bit more of a kick on the initial intake, but it's still smooth. It's very smooth.
Yeah, I really like this.
It's a great story. And the crafting of the bottle and from top to bottom, the cork, the whole nine is unlike anything else. And that wrapping can be taken off, and you can do whatever you want. And you have the signature on the back there.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's my favorite.
It's lovely. I'm going to definitely take a picture of it too.
Yeah, man. You can keep that, dude. Put it on the shelf.
All right, I will.
If you guys haven't been to the lab, you got to see this man's shelf. Oh man.
I have a shelf alcohol. I did Sipping NC, the art of drinking here.
Nice.
And it was focused on all North Carolina made stuff, but I'm getting the picture here. You're right behind the skull. Hold on.
Hey.
All right.
Yeah, stay tuned for that, folks.
Yes, it'll be on the show notes. So,
man, that's a beautiful bottle.
It is. That's fantastic.
And again, that website is padreazul.com. And it's PADREAZUL.com. Yeah, well, thank you. That's fantastic. I really enjoyed that. I've always been hit or miss with tequila because I'm just used to the the Pepe Lopez, Americano,
the gringo type tequila, and it was I was very much a gringo, but I could get into drinking some tequila if I had money.
Hey man, it's some good stuff, bro.
Yeah,
it's some good stuff. And we've had this bottle for about 8 months now. So it's a special occasion like this.
And you let it go that long? How'd that happen? How'd Amy let that go?
Oh, well, we had options.
Okay. We had other things to drink.
Yeah.
I believe she actually had sent me a picture of this with several other things when we first started talking about that. Yeah, that's fantastic. I just love the feel of that.
Yeah.
I know we're getting stupid about it, but it's
Yeah, once you guys, check it out. Padre Azul. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. The Man Who Ate the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables podcast network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, the Beer Dads, Fat Interference, and Apartment 5B, irrational conversations with the cool breezes of Anytown, USA. You can find all these podcasts and their recent episodes on our network website and directory, tldpodnetwork.com. And just this week, did I tell you already that we are now on Spotify? Yeah. All 5 of the network podcasts were accepted on Spotify. I've been trying for 6 months, and they had some weird stuff going on, but they all got approved and are good. And even one that's not on the network that I produce, I was able to get that one on as well. So it's fantastic. I'm very excited about that.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. You can find them. Just look up The Man Who Ate the Town or any of the other stuff. Or you can just go to tldpodnetwork.com and listen to any of them there.
There you go.
We would greatly appreciate if you visit our sponsors, like the one that I ate lunch at last Wednesday, I think it was. Yes. Delicio's Italian restaurant. Tony, it's Italian food like you're sitting in Naples. I was there, and it was lunchtime, so I went easy, but I always get the sausage parmesan sandwich, But it comes a certain way. It comes with all the onions and peppers and all that stuff. Oh, yeah. And although I have grown to really enjoy those things, I still don't want them necessarily on this sandwich. And they make their own buns and bread.
Wow.
And then they, but I told them I didn't want it toasted. Because I don't like hard bread. I'm just not, it tears the top of my mouth apart. And I still, even though it's a sandwich and it's even the 8-inch is huge. Yeah. I don't eat it like a sandwich. Knife and fork. I just have to do that. But it was so good, and he makes it special for me anyway. He puts provolone and Parmesan on there, and black olives are on there because I love those things, and then banana peppers when he has them. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But yeah, absolutely. And it's just great stuff, and I hadn't been there in a little bit, and I just was in the mood, and it was so damn good. Rich cream sauces, bright and flavorful red sauces, wine sauces, vodka sauces, seafood, meat, vegetarian, whatever you want Italian-wise, they've got it. Many styles of pasta to choose from, and daily specials as well. They're open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check them out on Instagram and on Facebook.
Yeah, man.
Washington Perk and Provision Company is located at 301 West 4th Street. The Perk just announced they are now carrying Lundberg rice cakes. Woohoo! Wolfie's Custard is there as well. They actually own Wolfie's Custard, so that's now, they have probably 13, 14 flavors. I know Bethany, my co-host on Less Desirables, claims that lavender is the absolute best flavor. Lavender. Huh. I can see that would be good. I don't know if it would be the best flavor, but she likes it a lot. And if that's your favorite, that's your favorite.
I trust Beth.
Larry's Beans Coffee is one of the few places in town that serve Larry's Beans Coffee out of Raleigh. Mm-hmm. They have eggs, milk, and cheese from Homeland Creamery. They have condiments, bread, beer, and wine. A sandwich shop in the back where you can get a sandwich for around $5. It's really, really good. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, but not quite a grocery store. They're located again, 301 West 4th Street in downtown Winston-Salem, and on the web, that's facebook.com/Washington Perk. And on Instagram, they are Washington Perk _WTWS. I'm sorry, DTWS.
Yes, downtown Winston-Salem.
Yes, I was making that up as I went.
That's all right.
The Humblebee Shop is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown. Visit for cookies, cakes, pies, dessert goodies, muffins, scones, macarons. Yeah. She makes the best ones in town. Everything is carefully crafted and made 100% from scratch. The Humblebee Shop wants to challenge your perception of scratch made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget.
That's right.
For more information, follow them on Facebook. Visit thehumblebeeshop.co. That's shop, SHOPPE.co. And on Instagram. Keep an eye on my blog and this podcast to find more about the food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, please send us an email. Or if you have questions, or if you want us to look into anything like John P. did, we enjoy that. On Facebook, we're using The Man Who Ate the Town, a food blog and podcast. On Twitter, we are Man Who Ate the Town. On Instagram, we are Man Who Ate the Town. And like I said, we're now on Spotify.
Yeah.
And you can get, send me the email, tim@themanwhoatethetown.com, Johnson Tim at timmyvo.com.
That's right, brother.
And Kelly at themanwhoatethetown.com. That's it. My name's Tim.
And my name's Tim.
And we're closing the recipe box. Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the Man Who Ate the Town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.